evening, and welcome to Two Small Biz Guys with Zen Benefiel and
Ray Silverstein.
And this evening, we're going to be speaking with Rick Murray, who's president of the Arizona Small Business Association, and to most of us, that's known as ASBA, and heretofore referred to ASBA.
Very good. That's exactly right.
Yeah, all right. Well, Rick has a wide and varied background. Includes many entrepreneurial endeavors, including being CEO of a $30 million business. What was that about, Rick?
Well, if I call the state government of New Mexico, that would be a portion of that $30 million business. I was the general manager of the New Mexico State Fairgrounds.
Oh, okay. Well, that's still a huge
it was quite the
project
enterprise.
Management.
Oh, yeah, absolutely. Yeah.
How do you deal with all those people? Because you got, a variety of activities that come in.
Well, certainly everything, something different every day. I mean, from horse people to concerts to casino. So it was really the perfect training ground for managing small business owners.
And developing people skills, too, if you didn't have them already,
which
right. You would have to going into that. So you're also CEO or president now of Arizona's largest association dedicated to small business.
Yeah.
Heretofore called ASBA. And
what was that name?
ASBA, Arizona Small Business Association.
Yeah.
And what we're going to be talking about today is what the association's all about, how you get involved, and how it benefits the local population. So let's start with how you got involved. You've been there now for 4 years?
Almost 4 years, almost 4 years. And how I got involved was really completely a lark. It's one of those things.
Meadow?
Right, Meadow Lark. Yeah, it's exactly that. Not the Globetrotters.
Right.
No.
We're going to stuff a few here.
Yeah.
Oh, that means it's going to be a slam dunk. Okay.
Right. Yeah, there you go. But I'm a small business owner, and as I was in my home office and completely bored out of my mind because I didn't have any projects going on, I was reading the newspaper and noticed that the previous CEO, Donna Davis, was moving on to bigger and brighter things, and long and short of it, made a couple of phone calls, got into the process, and there I was. I was now going to be the CEO and president of the Arizona Small Business Association.
What really made you want to move into this type of an association type of activity in a different community?
Well, it's really, for me, I like to see people succeed. And it was really, and that's what my business is about anyway, what it was about before. I was consulting for dentists, helping their businesses be better business people. We know typically when we talk about medical professionals.
It's past 2:30.
Right. That's right. But we know that typically speaking, when you go through a medical program, they don't do a lot of business education. So I was helping them on the business side. So I thought, well, let's take that one step further. And that's really what interested me about leading the Small Business Association, is seeing how we as an association could do more for small business in Arizona to make them more successful. Certainly, we were coming out at the time of the Great Recession, and certainly everybody was still feeling very unsure about how things were moving forward.
A little skittish about moving forward at all at that point.
Without a doubt. And certainly I think there's still some after effects of that looming even today. So that was really what really appealed to me at that. And also the fact that I could continue at some level still being a small business owner. I mean, who better to lead a small business association than somebody that's been there, right?
Right, and with your background as a project manager and having all the duties, I know that from speaking from experience, I was a project manager in the aerospace industry.
Yeah.
So there's a lot of people skills involved, and especially being able to help people find what they need. Now, that kind of leads us into networking, which is how you got your job.
Well, that's right. That's right.
You applied the networking skills, you reached out, you established a rapport, you developed a conversation, and things moved from there. So how does that apply to the skill building that you're able to provide for ASBA members?
Well, and that's a very good question, because we know the two big things that small business owners need is they need opportunity to grow their business, and they also need the opportunity, and that opportunity comes with networking. And how do they network, and how can we help them network? How can we create those opportunities for them to be in front of somebody that might create some more opportunity for them? And so that is what we are about. And do we teach them how to network? Well, in a lot of cases we do, but in most cases we're making those opportunities available to them to be able to. We are hoping that as a small business owner that they know their business better than we do. We can give them certainly the overall,
right.
the typical things to help them, be more successful.
And one of those things is the speed networking that I see advertised and have participated in, which that really, kind of it truncates the process into just a few seconds and sound bites.
Well, now that's the fun part of it. When you go in there and you listen to the activity and the excitement that's going on in the 1 hour of 30 or 40 or 50 businesses, every 2 minutes switching off and giving your best elevator pitch. By the time you're about 10 people into that, you're really refining your elevator pitch.
Well, it's like the telephone game.
Yeah, it is. Yeah, am I saying the same thing I did before? Right. Am I selling the same thing too? Right.
Yeah,
I'm in a new business now.
That sounds like Pete and repeat. But you mentioned the networking or creating the opportunity and the opportunities. But one other aspect is this is a little bit aside from networking. Does ASBA get involved in the arrangement for financing? And because entrepreneurial people need to get money to grow their business.
Isn't that the truth? And certainly we have seen such a huge need for that. Again, referring back to the Great Recession on how the banks' underwriting requirements have increased because of the whole mess that created. And honestly, the lowering of most people's credit scores through that time. So now we've got this bigger gap of people who do not qualify for even, say, traditional funding. But what we want to do is be able to help them understand, what is a bank looking for? What are my options as a small business owner now that I've already exhausted my credit cards and my home equity loan and all my friends and everybody else
now that I'm all in.
Now that I'm all in, and all the fools and friends have followed me all in as well. Right. I still need a little bit more. And how do I, and so that, yes, we do that. And that's one of the things that I think, we do very well, because there are a number of ways, that small businesses can be financed. It doesn't have to come through a bank. That's certainly one of the options. There are certainly alternative sources. And when we talk to them about it, we talk to them not necessarily in the context of interest rate, but the cost of money. How long are you going to have this money? It may be a 12% interest rate, 13, 14, well, which all of us would go, and we go, oh my God, I'm not paying that. Well, maybe it's only for 2 years, and you look at how much that money, okay, if that only cost you $600 or $700, maybe $2,000 for that, even at that interest rate, is that worth it for you? In most cases, some business owners say, yeah, I'll pay $2,000 for that opportunity, kind of thing. So
especially when you have the ROI that greatly outweighs that cost of opportunity.
Exactly. And then, we have, purchase order financing. We've got so many other methods of being able to finance. And when we come back, I think, one of the things that we did most recently is pass this law, most recently in equity crowdfunding. Can I sell a piece of my business? Can I sell a piece of my business? And now I'm kind of, Shark Tank on steroids here.
And crowdfunding is huge. It's grown over the last 5 years exponentially.
Yeah, without a doubt. And that has created a lot of excitement in small business circles in regards to now how can we stimulate these small businesses and help stimulate the economy, stimulate job growth. I mean, really, that's what we are as a small business, right. And that's what we are as a small business
And in the process of developing the promotional materials for that crowdfunding, it really focuses the business owner on honing their communication skills, being able to access even video and videographers, production crews, or having to do it themselves, and going through that learning curve of you've got a new piece of software, you've got a new piece of equipment, you've got a script to write, you've got the practice, you've got the taping, then you've got the editing process, and most folks don't realize just how much time and effort is involved in that. Years ago, I did a television show here in the Valley, and we took 6.5 hours to edit material down to 1.5 minutes.
I understand that you were very much involved in the creation of the crowdfunding legislation.
And that's a funny story if we have time to tell that right now. I'll tell you, it was one of those of being in the right place at the right time. If people know me, they know I'm the guy that's always going to look through that door of opportunity, because I'm going to say, as most small business owners are, yeah, I can do that. So
we'll get back to that in just a few minutes. That door of opportunity, we're going to open it up for some others here, including us.
Looking
and
forward
we'll be right back with you. Two Small Biz Guys. What is your dream? Do you want to achieve it? Do you know how? What if you did? Zen Benefiel is the Chief Possibilities Coagulator with Be the Dream, Transformational Life Coaching and Professional Services. He'll help you put your dream to paper and process, removing the liabilities, limitations, and excuses in your challenge to change. Changing your outlook and perspectives opens your experience to opportunity and success. Visit BeTheDream.com and make an appointment with Zen. You'll be amazed with the results.
As a business owner, do you ever feel alone? Hi, I'm Ray Silverstein, founder of Pro Presidents Organization. I know business owners want to call their own shots, make appropriate income, and control their destiny. At Pro, our passion is to help you achieve your goals. A Pro Peer Advisory Board meeting is just the thing. It takes away that feeling of being alone by giving you support, insight, and experience. It's a confidential monthly meeting of non-competitive business owners facilitated by me. I have walked in your shoes. I have owned and sold several businesses. I will be your mentor and tormentor to move you forward. When you have issues or opportunities that keep you awake at night, where do you get your help? Pro boards give support and non-biased feedback from your peers. To sample a free Pro Peer Advisory Board meeting, email ray@propres.com. That's ray@propres.com. ray@propres.com. There's no charge and no commitment to attend.
Offering insight, practical advice, and the opportunity for coaching and consulting from their years of real-world experience and understanding. Two Small Biz Guys hit the airwaves with wit and wisdom, exploring small business with a couple of characters in the community, or caricatures as the case may be. Ray and Zen, that is, Mondays at 8 p.m. These guys are passionate about helping entrepreneurs and small business owners explore opportunities, meet challenges, and transform concepts to reality. Two Small Biz Guys, Mondays at 8 p.m. Are you a small business owner looking for education and information and don't have time for school? Is there an area of your business you'd like to know more about but aren't sure where to go or who to ask? Practical Biz U is an online repository of small business courses now available to you on the web. There are single class options, bundles for specific areas, and monthly memberships for ongoing learning opportunities. Go to practicalbizu.com and sign up today. The digital world is vast. Is it working for you? Would you like some qualified help? Zen Benefiel is a wonder with social media who leads focused and organized workshops on multiple platforms like Facebook, Google+, and LinkedIn. He leads by example, not theory, and teaches you how to live large and lively on the web. From blogs to SEO, his web presence speaks for itself. Take advantage of his expertise. Visit BeTheDream.com and click on Web Wizardry. Hire him while you can. And we're back with you with Rick Murray here in the studio, and we were just opening up a door of opportunity. Rick, you want to pick it up from there and fly away?
You bet. So we were talking about equity crowdfunding and how being in the right place at the right time sometimes just creates the best opportunity for you. So
it's all about timing.
It is. It is so much about timing. Even in our own personal experiences, I think everybody listening out there knows, there have been times in their lives that they were at the right place at the right time or the wrong place at the wrong time. So we were able to take advantage of that. So in January, as we do every year with the Small Business Association, we have our legislative day at the Capitol. And we're there. We're greeting legislators, letting them know small business issues that are important to us and the things that we are out there defending on behalf of small business owners. And I had Senator Farnsworth and Representative Jeff Winiger approach me and said, hey, we'd like to run our crowdfunding bill this year. Well, I knew, I've read all about it. I said, this is a great opportunity. I said,
fantastic.
Fantastic. Yeah. I said, hey, you know what? Let me know whatever we can do to help you. They said, okay, can you meet me in my office at 1:00? This is on a Tuesday.
Only if there's a crowd.
Only if there's, that's right. I needed to have a crowd. That's what we're talking about, right? So I end up in their office at 1:00 and spend the next 4 hours realizing they haven't got a single word written down and that this was just an idea. And they said, now that you know what we want after talking about it for 4 hours.
And nothing on tape.
And yeah, nothing on tape, nothing. Can you have something to us by Friday?
Why do they give you so much time?
Because there's only a window to get bills introduced
right.
At the session to get it through, and it's early on typically.
Talk about just-in-time manufacturing.
Well, this is typically at least an 8 or 10 month process.
Yeah.
You got to get your stakeholders involved.
It's like putting on an event, like with the state fair that you were.
Absolutely.
It
Absolutely.
Takes time.
It just takes time. Well, of course, being the one that wants to please all the time, I said, sure, I can do that. So for the next 2.5 days, I'm writing a term paper. That's what it felt like. Working literally, 14 hours a day, researching all the other states that have got it, trying to figure out, and I'm kind of the accidental tourist.
Intravenous coffee.
And so I end up at 4:00 on Friday having a bill sent to them, which I thought ended up being, it was actually a very well written bill. It was actually
not to pat yourself on the back.
No, but
hey, you were under the gun, and we do our best work.
Isn't that the truth? When we're under the gun, and sometimes that's the best work we do, and knowing that if we just go with the flow, sometimes
right.
That is sometimes the best work we do, and certainly hats off goes with the Senate analysts who also were very instrumental in getting some of the better language over to me so I can. Copy it.
Well, it's a collaborative effort.
Without a doubt. So when I had that to them, he got it to Legislative Council by that next Monday. We had a bill introduced by the following Wednesday. This is 1 week of time that you have a bill written and introduced and ready to go through committee hearings at that point. It just doesn't happen.
It's nearly unheard of. But obviously, it is heard of now.
Did you have to go in front of committee and also give testimony?
Absolutely, and certainly that I didn't do that alone. There's a lot of other supporters of equity crowdfunding that testified. Congressman David Schweikert, who was very instrumental in the Jobs Act that allowed states to do this. He was one of the main authors of that at the federal level. He came down to testify at the committees. So we went through the entire process. We had a couple of stakeholder meetings in the interim, and it went through all the committees, not a single no vote. And when Governor Ducey signed the bill, he proclaimed this to be the most important piece of legislation that he would sign this year.
Okay, so you and ASBA get a great big pat on the back for creating this. So now that all these ASBA members now have crowdfunding created for them,
right?
How do they go about using this and doing it?
Well, let's kind of back up a little bit and say, okay, what are the provisions in this bill? And part of the provisions are, so this flies under the scope of the SEC. Now, crowdfunding's been around for a long, long time in the form of these big development projects. Any big shopping center will be funded by, a number of what we call accredited investors. And an accredited investor is basically, 1 or 2% of the population.
And even district school bond drives, in a sense, are crowdfunding.
Well, that's a very good point. You got to have a crowd. You have a crowd of people who say, I'm going to commit to this certain amount of dollars to be able to fund this project. And that's basically, and we've seen that in Kickstarter, and we see that out there in Kickstarter and Indiegogo and a lot of sites out there. But what's different about those sites are donation sites. So you're not selling a security. So you can do that all day long because you are given me as an investor are giving my money to be able to say, I know I'm not getting a return for this other than maybe I'm getting your widget that you promised that you're going to make or something like that.
Unless you're a nonprofit, then you can offer some kind of tax benefit from it.
Well, the aspect is a lot of companies are not for profit or non-profit but by accident.
Yeah, yeah. I had a nonprofit company for a long time.
I think we've all experienced that.
Right. So some of the provisions, though, within this bill allows for a business without any audited financials to raise up to $1 million in a raise. Now, and if you have,
so it's like an IPO.
It's like an IPO. Now, if you are a going concern, a company, and you have audited financial statements, you can raise up to $2.5 million.
But when you say audited, does that mean that be a certified audit, or can it just be a compilation, or what?
It has to be certified audit financials. So, and there's an expense. So that makes an assumption that the business is a going concern, obviously, and it's a healthy going concern. So, but even those businesses that are even going concerns right now who may decide not to supply their financials, they can go for that and get and only raise up to $1 million. And what we find, honestly, is that most businesses don't need more than $1 million in most cases. If they need more than $1 million, they're probably got other sources that they're able to be able to tap into.
And it's usually for just acquisition of assets and creating some initial funding for purchasing services, equipment.
So it could be all over the board, right?
So this is in addition to friends and family financing. Right. So this is really on top of that.
Well, it's certainly, absolutely.
Is there a tax benefit to the party who does participate in the crowdfunding?
No. There would be there could be a tax liability if they end up making money, right? Now the tax benefit would be if the business doesn't do well, and then they can write it off, correct? And so that's one of the things that we want to make sure in this process, because this is a new process. And now what is happening is that when we talk about crowdfunding, it's just not for accredited investors. It's going to be for the unaccredited investors. So the rest of us who didn't qualify to, it takes money to make money.
Right.
And so this really opens up the door for the rest of us to be able to now participate, and at a responsible level too, because we put a limit of only $10,000. I say only. When we say $10,000, theoretically, that's not going to break the bank if somebody invests $10,000 into a project. Now, it really becomes important for that. And I don't want to sound degrading or anything, but an uneducated investor to really do their homework on what they're putting their money into.
Now, would this be equity investment? Because it's dealing with the SEC, so you're going to get some return on that.
No, this is
eventually.
outside the SEC.
It's outside the SEC, but it is an equity investment. And that's the beauty of what this Jobs Act allowed, is for states to do this intra-state crowdfunding.
Is this, does it make any difference whether it's a sub-S, an LLC, or a C Corp? Or?
Well, I would tell them to talk to their tax attorneys in regards to that. But I don't believe the sub-S can do that just because of how that is structured. But LLCs are able to. I mean, and it's all declared in the
Act itself.
Mm-hmm.
Now that you were instrumental in helping getting this done, has ASBA gone into any education for the membership as to how to go about doing this or moving forward?
Well, the bill was just signed on July 3rd. We just became active on, because, you have a resting period once a bill is signed. So July 3rd was when it actually became real. And so, part of the process is how do we engage the business community to understand what this is, what it means to them, and is this an opportunity for them? Now, I've probably talked to dozens and dozens of companies who found out about this. They've come to my office to find out.
A crowd.
It's a crowd.
You've created a crowd.
I've created a crowd myself that were very interested in seeing what this, but for a lot of them, it's just not the right thing, and we're able to find different ways to help them finance. So, when somebody goes to that route, the equity side of it is probably the last thing you want to do, because you don't want to give up a piece of your business.
And speaking of giving a piece of your business, we'll be right back with two Small Biz Guys, carrying on with Rick Murray talking about ASBA and the benefits for the local entrepreneurial movement here in town.
Laura Ingram mornings, Herman Cain middays, Michael Savage afternoons, Lars Larson nights on Independent Talk, 1100 KFNX.
As Americans head out for Thanksgiving, travelers are being warned to be mindful of possible terrorism. And the manhunt continues for the 8th fugitive wanted for the attacks in Paris. Correspondent Pamela Brown.
Still on the run, 26-year-old Salah Abdeslam. His brother told Belgian reporters the family believes Abdeslam backed out of the Paris attacks last minute. And in a sign of how well the Paris terrorists cover their tracks, authorities have yet to even identify all of the dead attackers.
President Barack Obama and French leader Francois Hollande will be discussing strategies to defeat ISIS tomorrow. White House spokesman Josh Earnest says eliminating ISIS will involve all allies.
The success of this mission is dependent on 65 nations coming together, recognizing the common interests that they have here, and dedicating significant resources. And we have seen stepped-up contributions even over the course of the last week.
I'm Ann Cates.
From the KFNX WeatherBug Weather Center for tonight, clear skies, a low of 50. Sunshine tomorrow with a high of 77. Partly cloudy tomorrow night, the overnight low 55. Wednesday, sunny and 72, a low 48 Wednesday night. Then for Turkey Day, sunny and 65. I'm Chuck Taylor from the KFNX WeatherBug Weather Center.
Currently, in downtown Phoenix, it's 67 degrees.
All Arizona, all the time. Check out our locals list on Twitter. View our update widget at 1100kfnx.com.
Celebrity voice impersonated. You heard of Black Friday? Well, Guns Etc. is having Black Gun Friday, even through December. Special pricing on Mossberg ARs, and we'll throw in 2 30-round mags plus 60 rounds of ammo. Free. In Arkansas, for Christmas, you really do ask for your 2 front teeth. It's that time of year. There's special deals throughout the store. Hillary might get in. Be prepared. Guns Etc. is on Alba School just south of Guadalupe. Call them at 480-963-4311. Remember, it's just different there. In Arkansas, our Christmas lights were also bug zappers.
If you're like most people, chances are you'll have all kinds of jewelry, gems, and diamonds that you no longer wear, or watches that no longer work. If these items would be more valuable to you as cash, come to London Gold, the jewelry store that smart shoppers have trusted for over 30 years. With today's high prices for gold, now's the time to let London Gold buy from you. Stop by one of our 3 valley-wide locations, where our precious metal specialists are always on hand to evaluate your items. We will carefully test and examine each piece to determine its weight and current market value. Then we will make you an offer. If you accept, we'll pay you on the spot, and there's never any pressure to sell. Walk away anytime. No charge, no hassle. And if by chance something catches your eye in our showroom, take advantage of our 20% bonus offer towards our new purchase. Imagine, in one visit you can trade in old style for new ones and take home cash to boot.
London Gold, it's the best.
And welcome back to the movement known as Two Small Biz Guys, here with Ray and Zen. And we've been talking about the Arizona Small Business Association, and I misspoke on the way out. It's not just in town, it's statewide, and it's for small business development. And you really need to know about that. Ray, you had some questions?
Well, one of the questions I had for Rick is, being a small business owner, people always say, what's in it for me? Why should I participate? Why should I join?
You know, and thank you for asking that, because that's what we try to create, that value for that small business owner. And when we talk about Arizona, we know that 3/4 of the businesses out there are just like you and me in that they're 10 employees or less. And of that, the majority of them are 1 and 2 employees. So
according to Forbes magazine, there's 28 million small businesses in America. 22 million of them have 1 employee.
And when you look at Arizona, it's over 400,000 small businesses just in Arizona alone. Now, you can do the math on how many of them only have 1 employee. Most of them they only have 1 employee. But back to your question, Ray, on what's in it for me and what is that ROI? And that's what we have to do, and that's our job. For a small business owner, they've got to say, are there products and services? Now, we offer discounts on products and services for small business owners, everything from credit card processing, things you use in your business, paper products, things that you can get delivered to your office, but that beyond that, the idea of being able to create opportunity. And
well, you've got a marketplace through the ASBA website as well.
It's called ASBA.com. Can't let that go. I'm going to need to throw the shameless plug.
That's ASBA.com.
Otherwise, you can't go back to the office.
Yeah, that's right. My staff will never let me go back.
There'll be no more crowdfunding, no more crowds.
Right. But I'd encourage people to go to that our website and kind of check out some of the products and services and some of the hard cost things that would literally pay them back for literally their $200 investment on an annual basis for being a member of our association. But, beyond that, though, beyond just the idea of having that dollar for dollar return, and we talked a little bit about that in the previous segment, is that intrinsic value of being part of this army of 10,000 other small business owners who are a member.
Part of the crowd.
Be a part of the crowd, and what that means to you as a small business owner and the power that brings to our voice as small business owners when I'm out at the Capitol.
The power of numbers.
Yeah,
you also have the aspect of that ASBA does education. And just one good idea or even a fair idea can be worth far more than the membership.
Well, and thank you for bringing that up. But even in those, and when we did our last survey, the 2 top things that our members wanted was networking and education. Now, when we talk about education, it's not like, well, I want to go and get a bachelor's degree, not through this. What they want to know is that how do I understand my P&L better? What about the Health Care Act? How do I understand the Health Care Act better? Human resource issues. Financing issues. So we're at a much higher level. But one of the things that the smart entrepreneur knows that are members of our association, that our educational events are also networking opportunities, because there's a lot of other business owners that are looking for that same information. So
what I hear you saying is that the membership's really looking for practical business education of the nuts and bolts of how to run a business, how to work with people, how to do the things that we, as business owners, know need to be done, but don't necessarily understand the ins and outs of the doing of it.
We all get into business because of a passion of whatever that idea or that product or service, whatever that might be, and we go into it with this college person, boy, girl enthusiasm, and we
absolutely
and I don't. We want that to continue.
We're in love. We're in that state of insanity.
Right. But when we get into the reality of it, you go, I didn't know that. So there is nothing that is too dumb or too low or too little that we cannot help a small business owner with, because we've all been there. We're all there currently, too. Yeah. So we can't know everything about everything as small business owners.
In working with business owners, I run peer advisory boards. I find that many business owners...
And you're also a mentor.
I'm also a mentor.
ASBA.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. But I find that many business owners they go in because they have knowledge in a given area, and they use that knowledge, and all of a sudden they're working in areas outside of their experience area.
Yeah.
And so they have no idea as to how to handle those type of environments. And that's where the knowledge base comes in, as to how to really work in those areas and be successful. So the aspect is that ASBA does put on education, and you also mentioned that the value of, purchasing basic items, and you were starting to talk a little bit about health, which we can go on later on. But what are some of the other aspects of ASBA participation? And you mentioned also the networking, and also I believe you put on some expos too.
Well, so throughout the year we have a number of events, and some of them are smaller, some of them are larger, and where the opportunity becomes where they can pick and choose whatever opportunity they want.
And you can pick and choose those from the ASBA.com website.
You know what? I'm sure we're glad you brought him, Ray, because he knows exactly. I love when he comes in with it.
He's into technology, so when you say website, his eyeballs light up.
But
see, look at the lens; it's nice and pink.
Well, and one I'd like to invite everybody to coming up is on December 3rd is our holiday mixer, and it's free. And we will have probably 400 or 500 people there. Now, sometimes these big crowds end up being not a real good place to do networking because you just get overwhelmed. But I think for no other purpose, to find out what we're about, and certainly if you can't find one person in that room that you can talk to about something with it related to your business or their business,
I guarantee you show up and someone will engage you, and you'll learn something, you'll gain from the experience, and you might just make some connections that you never would have made otherwise. 100% of success is showing up.
Yeah.
Well, that's what Woody Allen said. 100% is showing up. So when you have where's the holiday event going to be?
It's at the Sheridan Midtown up on 3rd Avenue, I believe, and I haven't got the exact address, but they can go to
ASBA.com.
Right.
Boy, you are well trained. I can see that.
I take cues well.
Yeah. Now we're partnering with the Phoenix Chamber of Commerce on that, and so we'll have a whole new different audience as well. And so we love doing and partnering with a lot of our partner organizations. We do things with the Hispanic Chamber. We do things with the Arizona Chamber.
And you do things with the Phoenix Department of Economic Development at times too.
Absolutely. And then one of the things we like to, we are kind of that hub as far as information, and we know that ASBA isn't for everybody, but we are certainly there for everybody to be able to put them in the right spot where they need to be.
And we were talking about education earlier. There's a conference room there that's available for people to rent, even if they're not members.
Yeah.
And it provides you've got Wi-Fi. It's a fairly good sized room, good acoustics, and very easily accessible off the 143 in Washington.
Right. Yeah, right off the 202 between 143, right by the airport. It's right off the light rail. And that's one of the things that we really, one of those hidden gems is certainly even for our own members as well. When you're doing business in town as a home, a lot of times we have home offices. You got an hour or two between meetings. Come over to our office. We've got Wi-Fi there. We've got cubicles we can have you sit down in. We just do so many things to support that small business owner. We want our small businesses to succeed, and we will do everything to help them do that.
So it's really a very congenial place to just drop in.
It really is. And
drop in.
They do drop in. And and you've been there, Ray, but the colors are magnificent, right?
Yeah. In fact, I'm thinking now about moving my office there.
Well, and we've given workshops there on social media and networking and peer advisory groups,
business stages, a variety of things.
And to that point, and you're a member of the mentoring group as well. If there isn't,
he's a tormentor.
He's
my main activity is I say I'm a mentor and tormentor.
Yeah, and if perhaps that is probably the best value that any member could have is to have that mentor opportunity that we provide for them. And for anybody that's a small business owner out there, if they don't have a mentor right now, find one, because your success really depends on that.
You know where you think you're going. Find someone who's already gone down that path and been successful, and ask them questions. They'll be more than happy to give you all kinds of answers, some of which you may not be ready to hear, but what you'll need to hear.
What you need to hear. That's so true. That's so true.
But the other side is you also get a different, unbiased evaluation, and somebody looks at it from a different perspective.
Right, because there's no vested interest.
Right.
other than wanting to help. So we'll be right back with you with Two Small Biz Guys and Rick Murray, and thanks for listening. What is your dream? Do you want to achieve it? Do you know how? What if you did? Zen Benefiel is the Chief Possibilities Coagulator with Be the Dream, Transformational Life Coaching and Professional Services. He'll help you put your dream to paper and process, removing the liabilities, limitations, and excuses in your challenge to change. Changing your outlook and perspectives opens your experience to opportunity and success. Visit BeTheDream.com and make an appointment with Zen. You'll be amazed with the results.
As a business owner, do you ever feel alone? Hi, I'm Ray Silverstein, founder of Pro Presidents Organization. I know business owners want to call their own shots, make appropriate income, and control their destiny. At Pro, our passion is to help you achieve your goals. A Pro Peer Advisory Board meeting is just the thing. It takes away that feeling of being alone by giving you support, insight, and experience. It's a confidential monthly meeting of non-competitive business owners facilitated by me. I have walked in your shoes. I have owned and sold several businesses. I will be your mentor and tormentor to move you forward. When you have issues or opportunities that keep you awake at night, where do you get your help? Pro boards give support and non-biased feedback from your peers. To sample a free Pro Peer Advisory Board meeting, email ray@propres.com. That's ray@propres.com. ray@propres.com. There's no charge and no commitment to attend.
Offering insight, practical advice, and the opportunity for coaching and consulting from their years of real-world experience and understanding. Two Small Biz Guys hit the airwaves with wit and wisdom, exploring small business with a couple of characters in the community, or caricatures as the case may be. Ray and Zen, that is, Mondays at 8 p.m. These guys are passionate about helping entrepreneurs and small business owners explore opportunities, meet challenges, and transform concepts to reality. Two Small Biz Guys, Mondays at 8 p.m. Are you a small business owner looking for education and information and don't have time for school? Is there an area of your business you'd like to know more about but aren't sure where to go or who to ask? Practical Biz U is an online repository of small business courses now available to you on the web. There are single class options, bundles for specific areas, and monthly memberships for ongoing learning opportunities. Go to practicalbizu.com and sign up today. The digital world is vast. Is it working for you? Would you like some qualified help? Zen Benefiel is a wonder with social media who leads focused and organized workshops on multiple platforms like Facebook, Google+, and LinkedIn. He leads by example, not theory, and teaches you how to live large and lively on the web. From blogs to SEO, his web presence speaks for itself. Take advantage of his expertise. Visit BeTheDream.com and click on Web Wizardry. Hire him while you can. And welcome back to the final segment of tonight's show with Rick Murray and Two Small Biz Guys. We've been talking about the Arizona Small Business Association, which you can find at ASBA.com. That's ASBA.com. And I'd advise you to go there, check it out. It's got a wealth of information and resources, even if you don't belong to the organization. I would highly encourage that you do, though. So, Rick, we started talking about the healthcare opportunities and the shift in the neighborhood, so to speak, and we're all happy in this neighborhood currently. However, we could be happier. So what have you got? What has ASBA done in order to help folks get through this healthcare hurdle?
Well,
as it were.
Well, it is, and it is quite the hurdle for some. And I don't know if we've all gotten our renewal notices, if they weren't cancellation notices, and seeing the increase. And so, obviously, healthcare is a major cost for all of us, and certainly for small business owners. When we talk about a cost that's going up, it eats into what? Our profit. Mm-hmm. And so so we know that small business owners, and we're all do-it-yourselfers anyway. So we knew going into this that the best way we can help our small business owners is to help them with their shopping experience, help them understand what they're shopping for. the federal marketplace.
Blue light special on aisle 3.
If we can only do that with healthcare, right? I'm not sure I want that when I have a heart attack or not. That I don't want the special, but we know that that the small business owners are do-it-yourselfers anyway. We wanted to create an easy shopping experience for them and trying to figure out what is going to be the best plan. And so we got a platform that allows a small business owner to go in. When I talk about a platform, a website.
Is that off the ASBA.com website?
It's there. You can link to it there, but it's the site itself is called connect2coverageaz.com with the number 2. Connect2coverageaz.com. And you can go there.
You do that well, too.
Yeah, thank you. Yeah, because it took me a while to get that. It's a long one, but it's really, I think, the only public-private marketplace in Arizona where you can go as an individual to shop individual plans. And every plan that's available in Arizona that's not on the exchange is going to be there. And so now you'll be able to put in.
It really is a healthy resource.
It's for you to be able to find your best opportunity, and to get that coverage for you, because we know if we don't have coverage, what happens?
We got a problem, but you become unhealthy. Well, first of all, you can be fined.
Well, fined. That's where I was going.
But right now the fine is relatively small. But as the years go on, that fine becomes very, very expensive.
Well, it does, right.
But the other aspect is, even if you're a solopreneur and you want to grow your business, health insurance is a key part to attracting good people. So it's not only the aspect of health, having it for yourself, it's also the aspect of having some type of mechanism or benefit to attract key people to your organization. And if you believe that your number one asset are your people, therefore you want to have good people. But go ahead and tell us more about how you connect in all the aspects.
Well, and Ray, I'm glad you brought that up, because it's a competitive world out there for that good employee. And if you aren't offering health insurance or health care or health benefits, what's the next best thing you can do? You can point them in a place where they're going to be able to get the best bang for their buck or the best plan for their situation. And it's not a one-size-fits-all, obviously. And so the great thing about this website, connect2coverageaz.com.
That's connect2coverage.
That's with the number 2?
With the
az.com.
Is that you can put in different parameters. It could be, you want this for your deductible, or you only want to pay this for your premium, or you only want this doctor, or you only want this hospital. You can put in all those parameters. You push the button, and then all the plans that fit those parameters that you put in will then come up, and then you can compare them to each other in regards to, and then decide at that point which one's going to be, and you can buy it right there, or you can decide to wait, or you can go to your broker if you want and say, hey, I know which plan I want. It's this plan right here.
Do you have to be an ASBA member to be able to utilize that site?
Absolutely not. No, this is for everybody in Arizona, whether you're a business owner, an individual. And again, that gets back to, we're about the greater good. We're not a closed shop. A lot of associations end up being this closed shop. Now, there's certainly things that we do that are only for members, but we want to be able to offer as much as possible to everybody out there. We want to show them the value, what we can bring to them, and then they can make that decision for themselves whether or not they're finding value in being able to spend that extra $200 a year to say, yeah, I support what you're doing for small business.
So therefore, what you're really saying is that the ASBA attitude or vision is really to bring value to small business owners, whether they participate in ASBA or not, and you're really very generous in your activities and support of the community.
That is so true in that. And some people would say that you're giving away your product for free, and why are you doing that? And certainly as a small business owner, we wouldn't do that as a small business owner. We're in a different.
That's kind of the new Google model, right? Where you give your best away initially, you build a rapport, you build the trust in the marketplace and with the businesses, the individuals, the business owners, and then once you've proven yourself, you're more apt to get the business on an ongoing ongoing basis. And in this country today, in my opinion, you may agree, and you may agree too.
How about disagree?
You could do that as well. Small business is the backbone of this country, and how we are restoring order that out of the chaos that we've experienced in the first part of the century, and certainly the last part of last century. We're growing together. We're learning how to work together more effectively, and the collaborative action that we make, such as the example of the crowdfunding bill.
Mm-hmm.
Those kinds of things are on the increase, and the more we do that, the better communities we'll have.
Yeah.
Would you agree with that?
I agree with that. So, do you need a job? I have a job for you.
I'm hireable.
Yeah, I'm telling you that you hit it right on the head. We don't need. We want everybody to be successful, and our success will come with their success. And that's how our business philosophy has been. And then I think as an association, we want to expose as many people as possible to what we can give them, what we can offer them. And
not to the point of vulnerability, but sometimes that exposure is necessary too.
Yeah, well, without a doubt. And so, and then our selling process is pretty easy at that point. We don't even have to make the ask from that point on.
So you really, actually, the ASBA format is really it's very evident as to what the benefits a person would get. We were talking before briefly about networking. And you wanted me to give you my thoughts on networking.
Yeah, please, yeah.
Because being kind of introvertish.
The tormentor is coming out.
That's right. My aspect is on networking is that people spend a lot of time going to networking events, and they really don't measure the return on their time. And their aspect is if I collect more business cards, it's been successful. Rather than saying, who are the business cards I really want to collect? In other words, I really want to get to the proper connectors, ones where there's a synergistic benefit mutually for both of us.
Well, from a planning standpoint, it's developing your target market before you enter the room.
So what are your thoughts on that?
Well, you're absolutely right. And I think there's so much wasted time by business owners that will come to networking events because they haven't got a plan. They show up. And you're right. It becomes a contest who can get the most business cards. And then what do you do with them after that? And then you can't even remember who you spoke to and what that card and who that guy was and what did he look like or what that lady looked like and what was their business and why did I want to talk to them? And I think
unless you're trained and you've developed the discipline to turn that card over and write some notes on the back of it that then you can follow up with later, which very few people do.
You're absolutely right. Now, we're developing a platform or an app on your phone that's actually going to help you do that when in these networking events, and it's going to shake up the world.
There's an app for that.
There's an app for that. So in regards to how we network with people, but Ray, you're so right in that people really, when you go to a networking event, you really need to have a purpose. You need to have an idea on how you're going to attack that crowd, how you're going to attack that audience.
I agree. So we're about ready to wrap up
We are about ready to wrap up. And Rick, I want to thank you very much. The conversation has been enlightening and insightful, and I think our audience has really benefited from that, just with the information and the knowledge of ASBA.com and the ability to go there, find out information, and grow their own business. And thanks again.
I couldn't thank you both for your support at the Small Business Association as well. But thank you for what you do for everybody out there in Arizona for small business.
Oh,
thank you.
It's been awesome, Ray. Thank you, Rick. Thank you again. This is Zen Benefield with Two Small Biz Guys, and we're signing off. And we'll see you, or you'll hear us again next week. Thanks for listening, and don't be afraid to come visit our website, twosmallbizguys.com.
With the number 2. As a business owner, do you ever feel alone? Hi, I'm Ray Silverstein, founder of Pro Presidents Organization. I know business owners want to call their own shots, make appropriate income, and control their destiny. At PRO, our passion is to help you achieve your goals. A PRO peer advisory board meeting is just the thing. It takes away that feeling of being alone by giving you support, insight, and experience. It's a confidential monthly meeting of non-competitive business owners facilitated by me. I have walked in your shoes. I have owned and sold several businesses. I will be your mentor and tormentor to move you forward. When you have issues or opportunities that keep you awake at night, where do you get your help? Pro boards give support and non-biased feedback from your peers. To sample a free Pro Peer Advisory Board meeting, email ray@propres.com. That's ray@propres.com. ray@propres.com. There's no charge and no commitment to attend.
Season tickets for the 2015-16 Sun Devil men's basketball season are now on sale. The Sun Devil men's basketball program is ready to change the game under the direction of new head coach Bobby Hurley. The Sun Devils are 47-8 the past 3 seasons in Wells Fargo Arena, and with exciting opponents like Texas A&M and Arizona coming to Tempe. You won't want to miss any of the action. Secure your season tickets today by calling 480-727-0000 or online at thesundevils.com.
Ina Malekish is a marriage, relationship, and sex counselor certified by the American Association of Sexual Educators, Counselors, and Therapists. She is an ordained metaphysical minister and a master hypnotherapist. Ina has been in private practice for 30 years and works with healthy individuals and couples desiring honest talk. Call 623-465-9151, 623-465-9151, or visit talktoina.com. TALKTO.
You're listening to Independent Talk, 1100 KFNX, Cave Creek, Phoenix, a division of Premier Radio Stations. It's 9 o'clock.